Okay, now it says it's streaming. Let's just make sure. I don't want anybody to miss out on all the fun. Okay, now it says I have an excellent connection. It's refreshing. There we go. Now we have picture. Okay. All right. So now that I know that everybody is up and running and working like they should, welcome to travel news you can use. Um, I have some deals, I have some details, and then I also want to remind you about exactly what it is that travel agents can do for you. Um, but let's start with the fun stuff. Um, let's talk about some 4th of July things you can do in Disney World if you're going to be there. Walt Disney World is a great place to be. If you're going to be there, you can check out the American Adventure. You can check out Voices of Liberty in Epcot. There are special 4th of July themed events in Magic Kingdom on July 3rd and 4th. The characters will be sporting their patriotic best. There'll be some special photo ops as well. So look for those photo pass photographers. If you would rather cruise, fall 2025 and spring 2026 cruises for Disney Cruise Line will be bookable starting on June 28th. Universal announced another piece of Epic Universe. They talked about Dark Universe this week, which will be the ruins of a village that has been ravaged by the experiments of Dr. Victoria Frankenstein. Um, so they have some cool stuff coming up. They also have some ticket deals. Virgin Voyages, of course, has a deals. So does Viking River Cruises. Viking also does ocean and expedition cruises. I sometimes call them Viking River Cruises because they do river cruises, but they do the other two as well. And they have, through the end of the month, they have reduced airfare costs and some other goodies to put together a package for Viking if you want to do it. Remember, Viking and Virgin are adults only. Disney, of course, is family or couples or whatever, but if you have littles, littles are welcome on Disney. Um, don't forget there's also Carnival, there's Princess, there's Royal Caribbean. I know from talking to other cruisers, I am not a cruiser myself, but I know from talking to other cruisers that when you sort of find that cruise line you like, it's like coming home. You really don't stray. So no matter what cruise line you want to cruise on, I can help you. Um, all right, before we go too much further, this is usually what I lead off with, and I got distracted and didn't go there today. There is a lot of weather around. Anybody having weather in your area, raise your hand. If you've been following the weather around the country, raise your hand again. So we have wildfires, we have flooding and lots of water, we have excessive heat, aka the heat dome. I guess that's the polar vortex's cousin. I don't know. They seem like they should be related somehow, even though they're exact opposites, which often happens in families. Um, so if you're out there, whether you're baking or swimming or broiling or whatever your temperature or weather pattern is, please be safe. Do whatever you can to be safe. If you're in the heat dome, make sure you're hydrating, make sure you're taking breaks and getting out of the heat. Anybody that's got sunshine, make sure you're tracking your UVF. That's not quite right, but make sure you're tracking your how long you can stay out in the sun before you burn. Make sure you're applying a good sunscreen with a high number. I know my grandfather's dermatologist always recommended 100 or better. I also know that 100 is hard to find. A couple years ago, it was really easy to find. It's getting harder and harder, especially if you want it in a spray like I do. But the higher number, the better. Also, the more liberally you apply it, the better. And the more frequently you reapply it, the better. All those things will help keep you from getting burned. Take it from the person who usually looks like Sebastian the Crab if she's not careful. Use that sunscreen, use it wisely, use it well, use it often. I don't know why my nose is itching today, but it is. Maybe because it's a high pollen count. I don't know. Um, so if you're in the weather, please be safe. Please be careful. Nobody needs heat stroke. Nobody needs to drown because they didn't turn around. You know, all those little witticisms they use on the Weather Channel. Just fill the rest of them in this little gap I'm going to give you. Yes, that was sort of the Jeopardy song. Um, what can I say? It's one of those days. So we can cruise for 2025 and 2026 on Disney Cruise Line later this month. We can book them. Um, there are some other cruise deals out there. There are deals at Universal. There are deals at Disney. There's always lots and lots of cool stuff going on. It just depends on where you want to go and how you want to get there. So let me take a couple minutes and remind you what I can do as your travel agent. Travel agents kind of get I don't know, they kind of get mixed reviews. Let me tell you what I can do as a travel agent and what my philosophy is, because it's probably the most helpful thing. I know it's different for every agent. It's different depending on what agency you're with, all those kind of things. So, um, I just want to tell you about me. The main goal I have in helping anybody plan a trip is to make sure that they have the most wonderful experience possible during that trip and that that trip is tailored to their needs. If you have three kids under five, you're going to do any trip differently than I do it with my 18-year-old. Um, it's just going to be different. So you want to make sure if you're going to work with a travel agent, you want to make sure that you're working with somebody that understands where you are, what your needs are, and can meet those needs. Um, I had a client I worked with last year who was just really, really nervous about getting the shuttle from the airport to the resort. She was like, didn't have any care in the world once she got to the resort, but she was really worried about getting there. So we booked all her stuff ahead of time. We made sure that the shuttle company had all her phone numbers, that they had her flight numbers, that they were tracking everything. We went over the procedure for how they were going to get in touch with her ahead of time. So when she got that text vibration, she knew, oh, it might be the service. Let me look at that text in case I need to update them. I also had all the info for the shuttle, and I was basically just waiting for a text that said, I'm stuck. I can't remember what I'm supposed to do. I need help. And had she texted, she didn't. It all went very smoothly, and they had a fabulous trip. But had it not gone so smoothly, I would have been right there ready to jump in and communicate between her and the shuttle company to make sure that they um, got connected and got her where she needed to go. I've had other clients who have tried to change a dining reservation and not been able to get through. I spent almost 2 hours one afternoon on the phone for a client trying to change a reservation. It happens, that sometimes your days just go in a different direction, and you need somebody to be in your corner doing all those things so you can go enjoy, your vacation day. I've also arranged dining reservations for a number of clients. I've helped with things like Bippity Boppity Boutique and building a lightsaber at Savvy's. Dinner, the dinner show packages where you get priority seating. I've done those. I've done some VIP tours. There's just a lot of, there are a lot of moving parts in a vacation. And a travel agent helps you keep track of all of those. For my client that's going to Hawaii in the fall, once we booked all her things, her excursion, I don't really want to call them excursions, but she had a couple things she was, a couple special things she was doing. They were doing a sunset cruise, they were doing a luau, and then they were also doing one of those, they were doing a submarine tour where you could actually go down and see some of the ruins and stuff. So once we had all that booked, I made her a cheat sheet. Here's your hotel reservation. Your rental car reservation is also attached to that. Here's the phone number, the direct phone number for the hotel. Here's the direct phone number for the counter at the airport where you're going to pick up your rental car. Here's all the info for all your excursions. Here's the confirmation number. Here's the contact number for the place. I just made her a sheet with all of those on it. She's kind of old school. She doesn't do a whole lot of technology. So I just literally made her, a page with all that information on it that she could just stick in her wallet and have, and whatever she needed, it would be right there. Not only because I think it's a really good thing to do, I think it's, I kind of do that with all my stuff too. I print it out and I hide it in my luggage somewhere because that way, if my phone battery goes dead, if I misplace my phone, which I've been known to do, I've been known to stick it somewhere safe, right after security so I can get to my gate and get settled. And then I get to my gate and it's like sunk to the bottom of my bag or whatever, and I'm a little panicked because it's not where I left it. Anybody else been there? Just me? Okay. Well, if it's just me, then I don't have to worry about any of you guys having that issue. But that's kind of, having a travel agent is like having an assistant. So if um your rental car is late, or you're having trouble getting a lift, or your virtual queue is running late, you need to adjust your dining reservations, you have questions about Genie Plus, and it's not just Disney. Disney has, dining reservations and Genie Plus and some other things that are unique to Disney. But it can happen anywhere on any trip. You know, Sometimes life just takes a curve that you didn't see coming, and you need to adjust. And when you have a travel agent, they are right there to help you adjust. Whether it's calling the hotel and letting them know that, hey, my client's driving into you guys and they've hit traffic and they're going to be arrive later than they thought. They are coming, they're just going to be late. Whether it's rearranging a reservation because of a traffic issue, whether it's getting you to and between the airport and your resort, whether it's adding as much magic as possible into any vacation that you pick. It's also things like shore excursions when you're cruising, and special things for the kiddos, special magical touches that you can add to a theme park trip. There's a Harry Potter package for Universal. There is, not only can you do Photo Pass, you can also do Capture the Moment at Disney World. There are a ton of VIP tours and also some great behind the scenes tours you can do. You can do behind the scenes in Epcot, as part of Living with the Land. You can also, if you are scuba certified, you can swim in the aquariums at Epcot. There's a special tour just about the Walt Disney Railroad. In Magic Kingdom, there's Keys to the Kingdom. There are some about decorating for Christmas. There's a Christmas tour for Magic Kingdom. There are varying lengths. Some of them have a cost, some of them are free. But there are lots of things like that you can do to make a trip extra special. And a travel agent is the perfect person to help you figure out which one is best for you and get it booked so that you don't miss out on it. So, in case you're wondering why you should or shouldn't use a travel agent or what it gets you, it basically gets you somebody else behind the scenes cheering for you, keeping you on track. And I don't know about you guys, but there are a lot of days I could use somebody like that. So, on that note, Halloween is not far away. I know, we just started summer vacation. Don't rush me, don't rush me. I get it, but if you want to do Oogie Boogie Bash, if you want to do Hollywood Horror Nights at Universal, if you want to do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in Magic Kingdom, don't forget there's also a lot of great local stuff. Hershey has some Halloween things that they do, so does King's Dominion and Busch Gardens. Um, so there's lots out there. It's not too early to start thinking about Halloween. Most people start planning their trip about 6 months out. So that puts us at Christmas, but that also puts Halloween and Thanksgiving well within reach. So if there's a trip you want to take, let me know. I can help you plan the trip that's right for you. Make sure you have a good trip and be right there, in case you need me along the way. And that goes for as much or as little as you want me to do. I can strictly book like your hotel room and your rental car, and if you're going to a theme park or an amusement park, I can, book your passes for that. And I can be as hands off, or I can help you with dining and behind the scenes tours and itineraries and all those extras. So, really just depends, but we can work it all out so that you get to have the trip you want to have. So, everybody stay safe in the weather, stay cool if you're in the heat dome like me, and I will see you next week. Bye.